Home after listening to all this fringe information, and you hear a voice in your head and it says look out your window, and you look out the side of the car and there's a white light following you, and the voice suggests that you stop the car and get out, and you find yourself slowing down and you pull the car over the side, and the voice says, would you like to, they'd like to meet you, please park your car and step out. In the craft, you notice the white ball of light is coming down on the ground about 100 yards away, and it's setting down. You quickly look around. Wow, you're all alone. There's nobody out here. Should you be doing this? So you feel a little ripple go through your body. They're scanning you very quickly to see what you're like emotionally, if you're stable, if you're afraid, if you're, as they put it, tipping over in your mind. If you are, which you might be getting just a little excited because it's actually happening, they will send you another feeling to calm you down and let you know all about them, that they're friendly, that this is going to be a good experience, and suddenly you'll find yourself with all sorts of courage and so forth. Find yourself parking the car, actually getting out of the car, going, can't believe I'm doing this. I'm actually walking out and meeting the spaceship. Craft sets down on the ground, lights go out, somebody walks out of the craft and walks towards you. As you get closer, you feel this ripple go through your body again. They're calming you down. What do we do when we meet somebody? We generally ram out our hand and shake hands, don't we? And then we shake and we get a feel of that other person, and then we check them out physically, look at their eyes and so forth. And we size each other up very quickly to see whether or not we're going to be comfortable with them. And we make a quick snap judgment about whether or not we like this person, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, they don't do that with a handshake. They do it mentally. And that last ripple they'll send through you is kind of their hello. You will know all about them, you will feel them emotionally, and they will make you feel comfortable, so there's no need for the handshake. The time they get up close, they may suggest something like, if you're not in a big hurry to get home tonight, if you'd like to go for a ride on the craft, we can take you aboard the craft, we'll take you anywhere you want to go in the universe, we'll explain all the mysteries to you, you can sit in our little education seat like Billy did, ask any questions you want, and they will be answered. All we ask, to be allowed to listen to your thinking. We're fascinated by your thought processes. If we can listen to your thoughts, then we'd be glad to take you for a ride for 2 or 3 weeks. Now, if you agree to that, which most of you probably would, after asking them if they could block out a few thoughts that you don't want them to listen to, they say, come on aboard. You find yourself going aboard the craft. Notice if it happens to be a ship like this with the unusual edges on it, this is their more advanced ship, and it's capable of moving in time. The older ones can't do that. So your questions this way can be a lot more complicated. You might want to go back in time and watch the pyramids being built, or see if Moses really parted the Red Sea, or did the crucifixion really happen, or whatever historically might interest you. You could possibly ask these questions, and perhaps they would take you back and let you see for yourself. Well, they'd probably take you out there for 3 weeks. You'd have all these magnificent experiences. You could go to other planets, see other worlds, see other societies. Maybe even go back in time and watch yourself being born, or visit yourself when you were alive 300 years ago. You can do some rather amazing things if they would let you do them. Then they bring you back. You may notice on your chronograph watch that 3 weeks has gone by, but by now you have an understanding of time because they've educated about it, and you're not surprised if they bring you back the same moment that you left Earth time. And you get out of the ship and walk back over to your car, and your car engine's still warm, no time has passed on Earth, and you've been gone for 3 weeks. Now you get in your car and drive home, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to get on the phone and call us, aren't you? You're going to call somebody. You won't believe what happened on the way home from the shift meeting tonight. I've been out here, I've seen this, I've gone here, I've seen all these amazing things, and what are we going to say? Oh yeah, sure, all that happened right on the way home, right? You got any proof? You haven't been gone, 20 minutes, so we're not going to believe a word that you say. If you're lucky, maybe they allowed you to bring back some samples of some kind, rocks or something from another world. Maybe you brought back some food things we don't understand. Billy has a peach tree in front of the house he brought back from another planet. When visitors come over there, they go eat a peach just to see if it tastes different. He has some unusual vegetables in his garden. On the desk in his office, he has crystals and rocks and stones that he brought back from another planet. Nothing that, too exotic that really twists your mind too much, but just kind of different than what you're used to seeing. If you were real fortunate and had a camera with you, you might be able to take some pictures of some other places. That would be kind of fascinating to have a look at. So these kind of experiences don't happen too often, but if they do, and that's the ship that you see, make sure your questions are big. Because we want to know all about it, don't we? This is where we live. This is an artist's drawing of the Milky Way. If you flew in a craft up above the galaxy, notice out here there's a little yellow box on the bottom left there. That's where we live. That's where Earth is. By the way, the Pleiades are only 400 light years away, which means if we got in our Honda and set the speed to 1 light year speed, if we were traveling at the speed of light, it would take theoretically 400 light years for us to get to the Pleiades. But the Pleiades are just right there in the neighborhood. It's 53,000 light years to the center of our galaxy. So we're going to have a very fast ship to get anywhere. Even to get to the Pleiades, who's got 400 years, to get there? If we have time and you're interested, the theory of the crafts, how they work, how they dematerialize them, and how the power system works. If we have a chance later, if that's somebody you want to know, I can draw that out for you and show a little bit about how they're designed, if that's something you're interested in. This is what our galaxy looks like from the side. It's a spiral galaxy, similar to most other galaxies. It's a very normal one. Here's some more of Billy's pictures of 2 regular-sized ships, and notice the 2 on the top are slightly smaller. These are remote vehicles. They're in our upper atmosphere, hundreds of them all the time. When you talk to people that claim that they're having visions or ideas, or they think they're psychically connecting with the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or something like that, in most cases it's with these little remote discs. They pick people, 20, 30,000 of them at a time, and they broadcast visions and ideas to people. They're generally never from Orion or Arcturus or Sirius or whatever like that. They find out that people are far more interested in listening if they think they're making a connection with a far-off ET than they are with a metal disc that happens to be a mile over their head. So understanding our mental capacities, these little remote discs fly around the planet quite oftenly, sending out their ideas and visions you pick up in sleep and listening to your thought patterns. They're intrigued with our thinking, they say, because they've discovered that the average person on Earth can live 75 years and spiritually only grow 6 or 7 months. They look at us as a spiritually dormant planet, that our lack of understanding about nature and how things really go make us more of a study than anything else. We are so misled, they say, by all of our belief structures and things that exist on our world. The time we survive through our kindergarten grades, our schooling, and our early years with our parents who mislead us, not on purpose, but they do because it's how they were taught. The time we get to be 10 years old, there's so much stuff in our head that we can hardly get life straight. Well, you all know how that works. You can't wait to get out of the house and go out, and what happens? By the time you're 30, you run off and go to an S meeting or something to figure out what's wrong with you. Then you maybe go to a psychiatrist, or you come to a fringe meeting like this, searching for answers. We're all trying to figure it out, aren't we? And usually about the time you get to about 40 or so, you kind of getting a handle on everything and figuring life out. By the time you're 50, you got it nailed, but then, you're going downhill, and gee, you wish you'd have known all this when you were 18. So our problem is we just need to live a lot longer, don't we? If you did have a craft at your disposal and they picked you up, you might want to go visit some of the other planets. Here, Billy took a picture out the window. Right here is the top of a disk right in front of him, and there's another one up here. There was 3 craft. They took him to Venus, let him take a few pictures. They took him up to Mars, let him see that. They took him up to Jupiter, let him see the red spot, and brought him back. It took 2 hours and 35 minutes for the trip. Here's another picture out the window.